Welcome to Special Assignment. I'm Annalisa Burgess. There are only about 10,000 of them in South Africa, yet no immigrant community elicits stronger feelings among South Africans than the Nigerians do. They're accused of running the drug trade in South Africa and being the masterminds behind various financial scams. Today we go into the heart of this community in South Africa and find out who they really are and how they see themselves. This report by Nicole Turner and cameraman Jan de Klerk.
Court Street in Hillbrow is a small patch of Lagos in South Africa. Here, Nigerians cluster together for security. There's safety in numbers.
We are totally living in fear because you are in Nigeria. They have to fuck you up in any way they like. The way they treat Nigerians in South Africa, particularly Nigerians, is tear-sharing.
Police brutality here is what we are suffering most.
Please, we need protection. If they don't want us in their country, they should tell us to go.
Johannesburg has always been a city of immigrants. Like the European gold diggers who flocked to the mines a century ago, the first stop for most African immigrants is the inner city. Most newcomers end up in Hillbrow, with its cheap accommodation and residential hotels. To most Nigerian immigrants, South Africa is a land of opportunity, both legitimate and illegitimate.
Back home, the system is bad because there is no job opportunity. So what are we going to do? We have to leave home to look for greener pastures. And that is why we came to South Africa.
Nigerian asylum seekers in South Africa, and even those who are married to South African women, are prohibited from working.
If they should create jobs for the foreigners, casual jobs where foreigners could be working, you'll be earning your living. If you're earning your living from there, there's a lot of us who are involved in a lot of crimes in this country just because they don't have nothing to do.
There's an estimated 7,000 to 10,000 Nigerians in South Africa, a small community that's earned quite a reputation.
Hillbrow are dirty because of Nigerians.
They think they own the world or they own the country or something.
They're selling drugs to our brothers and they're promoting crime.
They must go home. We don't want them here.
These foreigners,
In 1999, the authorities embarked on Operation Crackdown, aimed at combating organized and violent crime. Hillbrow, as a crime hotspot, was the main target of cleanup operations. In a huge show of force, cordon, search and seizure operations were launched against the vice dens of Hillbrow. The army and police targeted residential hotels where Nigerians stayed. Thousands of illegal immigrants were arrested and deported.
Tired now because the Nigerians don't do anything to us. If they don't want to lock them up, they take money and they say, give me 50 rand first.
They will tell you to lie down. Even though you are wearing your jacket, even though you are wearing white, they will tell you to lie down in the water.
The immigration officer told him to take me outside to bring my wife because my wife is working. She's working. She came to see me after applying for a resident permit.
I believe the South African police are very good, but some of them are corrupt. Some of the police are corrupt. They took bribe in front of me.
I think if the problem was as big as what they say, there would be anarchy in the street, and there's not.
In November last year, a Nigerian national, Dominique Onwagazi, collapsed and died in front of the Hillbrow police station. Within hours, Nigerians converged on the police station to protest his death. They believed that the police killed him.
The cops saw him with some money, bundle of money, so they were targeting of a way of getting the money, extorting the money from him.
He was planning going back home to see the parents. He was killed in cold blood.
The police said that the guy was addicted to drugs and slumped and died. But we know the truth.
They brutally beat him up. Even he couldn't even walk because they hit him in his private area and one of his balls burst But the time they checked him, he was already dead.
We are investigating the matter. The post-mortem report is not conclusive. It cannot indicate a cause of death as yet.
There was a lot of anger amongst the community because he was quite a popular person, a high-profile person amongst them, and so the Nigerian community was angered.
In July last year, Nigerians were on the march again, this time on the Krugersdorp police station. A Nigerian was murdered in the Lindela detention center. Because he was buried on the same day, Nigerians suspected a cover-up and demanded that the body be exhumed. It was, and it was flown home for burial. An investigation into that case is also still underway.
What makes me angry? I've sent home over 120 dead Nigerians. I'm angry. Some died as a result of xenophobia, brutality from the police. People, the street kids, street robbers, South Africans, Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, stabbing and shooting them to death. I mean, people came in here to better their lot. It is not to be sent home in a coffin. You know, that makes me angry. I've seen them in the mortuaries. I go identify them, they pull them out from the morgue, and I see a dead man. I mean, I should be angry.
Austin Okeke is a 35-year-old law student at Rao University. He's the self-proclaimed leader of the Nigerian community. He fled to South Africa in 1994 when Sani Abacha's military regime took power in Nigeria.
I came into South Africa because I was running for my dear life. There was political crisis in Nigeria. The military were there brutalizing people. Abacha's men were looking for people seeking for democracy in Nigeria. And I had to flee for my dear life. I went through Ghana, from Swaziland to South Africa. I came into South Africa as an asylum seeker, means illegally. And I sought for asylum and it was granted.
There are more than 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. The majority of Nigerians on the streets of Hillbrow are from one tribe, the Igbos. In 1967, they tried to form an independent state in Nigeria called Biafra, an uprising that was brutally put down in the 3-year war.
They were quite callous, quite merciless. They blockaded the Biafran people from all over everywhere, and as they were slaughtering in the battlefield, they were starving to death. The children, women, helpless old men. The Igbo people you know today are products of war. They are victims of war. Since the end of that war, the Igbo man has never been accepted in Nigeria. That's the fact. Nigeria fell into the hands of dimwits, profligates, people who are not intellectually capable of managing human and material resources.
Nigerians are just like, we are descendants of the Jews. We prosper so much in business. It's a blessing from God.
It's just like as in the Jewish diaspora, you've got a group of people who've got international connections and who have got a business savvy and have the ability to work those connections to engage in all sorts of transnational commerce. Some of it quite legitimate, and in the case of the Igbo, some of it not so legitimate.
Ted Leggett is a senior researcher at the Institute for Security Studies. His report on Nigerians and their role in the drug trade recommends the closure of residential hotels and the deportation of those who don't qualify for asylum.
There is no job. You find that there's no job. So the alternative means of making ends meet is to commit crime. And you can't take that away from people.
Yeah, no, I know. So with the building committee.
Nigerians could not find jobs. There were no jobs, though, even for South Africans. Most of them became desperados. They went into the street and tried to survive from anything they could find on the street. There were drugs on the street of Johannesburg. There were crime, corruption on the street of Johannesburg. Scam happening on the street of Johannesburg, perpetrated by South Africans. So Nigerians became so desperate and they log on to the network of criminals in Johannesburg.
No, that's definitely not true. I think they're the niche that they fill in the South African drug markets, and it's no longer just cocaine and heroin, it's also the club drugs and a variety of other types of drugs. is that they are the consummate smugglers. That's what they're really good at.
Another crime associated with Nigerians is the so-called 419 scam. Named after a Nigerian penal code for fraud, the 419 is a confidence trick. People are promised vast wealth, usually from corruption, in return for a smaller advance payment.
It is a scam indeed, where it takes two to tango. If you receive such a letter, you get attracted and you respond. You also get involved in the corruption. You're a criminal yourself to respond to that.
It comes from, I think, in part Nigeria itself being a very corrupt country. They've learned how to conduct official fraud. They're very good with documents. They've got IT expertise. They're also scammers, good confidence men. That just has to do with their charisma.
The 419 guys are just to make money, and they joke about it, in a very derogatory way, to the Western world. That is payback time.
The phrase payback time is also used by Nigerians to refer to the Nigerian contribution to the struggle against apartheid.
I remember when I was young, I used to pay 1 kobo Nigerian currency during the apartheid period. It's just for my brothers here in South Africa. We were forced to pay it. During those days, I happened to lose my money. I lost it. And then I was beaten up by our headmaster. I had to rush back home to collect another 1 kobo, while Mandela was languishing in jail.
My parents were even paying 10% survival levy, excuse me. Survival levy then is like a compulsory tax for all Nigerian civil servants. When they pay your salary, automatically they deduct income tax. Survival levy is the next one to be deducted, and you don't have, you do it with pleasure. You don't ask questions because you want apartheid to be erased on the surface of the continent. We did that based on principle, not to be paid back. We just need kind gesture from our fellow South Africans.
We Nigerians, we love you people of South Africa. We were with you, during the time of apartheid. Yeah, and this is the time, you've just got to pay back. It's a payback time.
Despite their participation in the anti-apartheid struggle, South Africans have mixed feelings about Nigerians.
If my children can fall on the trap, whatever it is, you'll find massacre one day, I'm telling you.
Those guys are clever, believe me, they are very clever.
Everything's nice, they fix some cell phones, get cars from the streets to go to them, they get...
This is Bickard Street in Braamfontein. Here, almost all the businesses are owned by West Africans. Nigeria is South Africa's 4th largest trading partner on the continent. Trade between the two has grown from 730 million rand in 1998 to almost 4 billion in 2001. The stereotype that paints all Nigerians as dishonest affects professionals like Godfrey Ezugu, a salesman seeking opportunities in Johannesburg.
A South African is afraid of going into business with a Nigerian. Why is it so? Because he believes an average Nigerian is a crook.
As a lawyer, I come to this country and people tell me that am I a drug dealer? Because I'm Nigerian, I must be doing drugs or 419. That is very, very frustrating and it creates anxiety.
DJ Waxy works at a youth radio station in Johannesburg.
As a foreigner in South Africa, it's very tough, especially a Nigerian in South Africa. Even me, with the name I've got in South Africa, I still go around with my passport, which is right here in my pocket. Because if I don't have this, they can stop me and harass me on the way. I don't see any reason why I should be staying in Africa and I have to go around with my passport. Then where am I going to be free?
There are a lot of Nigerian graduates here because they don't know what to do. So they will survive in one means or the other.
A hungry man is an angry man. And when you are angry, you lose your virtues. You lose your discipline.
Most of our men here tell their parents that there are gold and silver here. This is an El Dorado. But they find out here and become disappointed.
They were swindled to some extent, told that by other Nigerians that they could be smuggled into this country where they can make a lot of money, and they show up here and they find actually there is no jobs, there are no business opportunities, and the only thing they can really do to make a living is sell drugs.
The life of a hustler on the street, wherever they may be, is a nightmare. They're always watching their shoulders. Is that from the street criminals, from the police brutality, from immigration officers, extorting money from them?
But what do? They are usually ready to kill a Nigerian because of cell phone. Every human being in South Africa believes Nigerians have money. Where do we get money?
They carry most of their cash on them. They can't get bank accounts, so they're walking targets both for corrupt policemen and for local criminals. That's why I think if you look at Hillbrow's crime statistics, their biggest crime problem is not drug crimes or prostitution, it's actually robberies.
Look at, I was stabbed. It's about a month. I was stabbed because they won't take my cell phone and my money. You see, when you suffer to get all this money, after the police will come, they say it's Nigerians are doing the crime, all these things. But it's a lie.
We did a survey here recently, and we found that the Nigerians were the single group most likely to be robbed.
We are their best clients. We are their best clients. We got no gun, we got no knife, we got nothing, you know. When they just come, even with a toy gun, they rob Nigerians.
On the whole, the Nigerians are fairly safe custodians of the cocaine market. They're not very violent people, as I say. They will find business solutions to conflicts rather than shooting each other. The Igbos have traditionally been a very democratic people. They organize themselves in small groups, and that's what they do in these buildings now. There will be a democratically elected building president and secretary. They have a legal committee and a task team. These people basically organize the Nigerians' lives. They pass rulings which are binding only on other Nigerians, and it's a self-protection thing for the most part.
The association, Nigeria association that I'm running, we solve our problems, and anybody walking into the meeting has come for a common purpose: the welfare of Nigerians. They are not coming with a tag or a stamp on their face. This is a Nigerian criminal, this is a 419, this is a drug guy. I'm only saying people coming for a particular purpose: welfare of Nigerians.
The Nigerian community is well organized. The Cape Agulhas Association operates out of Court Street. It's a Section 21 company that protects the interests of Nigerians in the area.
Like here in Hilton Plaza, if any Nigerian should fight with a fellow brother, is going to pay a fine of 200 rands. No exception, nothing. You must have to pay the fine for fighting, because we are trying to project a kind of image, here in South Africa that will show the people in South Africa that we are well-respected people.
And the Igbos are Catholics traditionally. If you show up at the cathedral here in Hillbrow, you'll find the front pews occupied by guys in gold chains who probably are dealing drugs or getting involved in other sorts of shady activities in the afternoon.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Amen.
The relationship between foreign nationals and the police has reached a low point. Nigerians accuse elements in the police of feeding on them. They say some solicit bribes, use excessive force, and have no regard for their rights.
ATM is a common slang amongst the South African police. When they are broke, they go into where we have a large Nigerian community or other foreigners, so to say, to go draw money. just like you go to an ATM and pull money. Yeah, as easy as that.
They are forcing the Nigerians to give that bribe. When you are oppressed and you see that there is no way out, you have to use what you have to get out from a problem.
If a policeman can come to my house and knock, I'll open the door. He will ask me, can I do, where is this, where is that? If you don't offer 200 rand, you are going to jail.
So why do you disturb yourself? You settle the case at your own level as you can and keep on moving.
If I find them corrupting a police officer, I will arrest them equally as what I will arrest the police officer. There will be no mercy on either side.
The cops and the army, all the forces in South Africa, they came to my house. They were asking me whether I have drugs in my house, and they started, checking on my papers and all whatnot, The intimidation that night was terrible. They make me feel so stupid, look so stupid before them.
We've detected that there's a problem in terms of Hillbrow, such as bribery, assaulting foreign nationals, also just arresting foreign nationals because asking them for the passport, and if they don't have a passport, arresting them, not investigating their cases properly.
Let the police scrutinize each and every case that comes their way and allow justice to take its course.
Immigration men arrested me, I just cancelled it, condemned the passport. It took me to Lindela. I spent 1 week there before they leave me. I paid 1,000 rands before they leave me from the Lindela.
Chike Fane is a basketball player, model and actor.
My papers. That was the same question a white policeman asked me 2 months ago. And when he said, show me your papers, I was so angry because I was in African continent and I showed him my tattoo, you understand? And I showed him, and I said I'm from Africa, and nobody have to ask me for my papers just like that because I'm black.
Or you have your 1 year stay. They will come here and then they will destroy the 1 year, telling you that you have no right to get it. And we are married here with their sisters. We have children.
Since I've been here for 9 years now, I've got my ID, I've got my permit. I'm married to a Zulu woman. I can speak Zulu.
They're seen as more sophisticated, suave guys. They're very good looking, muscular and confident, and they speak well. So they are seen as a threat.
We don't keep quiet, we make noise because we are very proud people. And we don't like to be intimidated.
I think the hotels definitely need to be taken and shut down. As I say, the residential hotels are essential to the drug operation.
In late November 2001, the Mimosa Hotel was raided again. This time, the state seized the property as so-called proceeds of crime.
There is nothing we're not going to take as long as it is associated, no matter how remotely, with crime.
And the message is, crime does not pay.
Yes.
We're taking possession of Johannesburg as a decent South Africans, and we're going to be flushing out all the criminal elements here.
They close me, most of the Nigerians will go to another hotel or get their own private house, and then they'll still carry on with what they're doing. So it makes no difference. Them keep on coming here, it's not changing anything.
The Mimosa was closed for good.
And you can see they've completely bricked this one up. They're preventing anyone from going back in. But despite that, the street life remains, the street presence remains, and from what I've been offered here this morning, the dealing remains. Obviously, it's not solving the problem. To allow them to stay in the position they are, where they are illegal by their nature, by the fact that they're here and they don't have the proper immigration status, is just allowing a very dangerous, a potentially dangerous group of people to live unregulated in the society, and they will cause damage then.
For him to recommend that, he doesn't even know the history of America very well. America today is a bunch of foreigners.
Nigeria went down because Nigeria does not realize that it should harness the intellectual capacity of the Igbo man. You can liken the Igbo man to a nuclear element. Okay, if you condition it to a particular direction, it will give you the energy that will power your industry. If you condition it to another direction, it will blow your city to pieces.
Respect is reciprocal. If you don't respect me, I don't respect you. If you don't treat me as a human being, I don't even see you as a being in the first place.
From Cape to Cairo is Africa. We are brothers. We have to admit our faults. Yeah.
I'm an African and I'm proud to be in Africa. And I don't want people to ask me for my papers. Yeah? You man, don't ask me for my papers. I don't like to ask me.
Today, tomorrow no more. If I die today, I will die. Slow. Today, tomorrow no more. If I die today, I will die no more. Today, tomorrow no more. If I die today, I will die no more.
That's our report for tonight, but before we go, a bit of good news. For the past 3 years, special assignment journalists have dominated the CNN African Journalist of the Year awards. In 2000 and 2001, our journalists won the top award, and this year, 3 of them are in the running again. Anna Maria Lombard, Alpheus Siabane and Paul Moagi are the only South African broadcast journalists to have been nominated. Next month, the winner is announced, and of course, we let you know what happens. That's it for tonight. Until next week, when we bring you another special assignment. Goodbye. If you have any comments or suggestions, phone, fax, or email us at truth@sabc.co.za.